Hi everyone, we're going to wrap up this dashboard build today. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to get rid of our table up here and just have these visualizations. We don't need the table for anything. So let's go ahead and delete that. Now on all of these, I actually want to add borders around them. So let's do that. We can't format them all together, but we can do one at a time. If we go to general, and I believe it's effects, and then visual border, and then it should put a border around that, which is nice. Nothing fancy, but better than no border, just in my opinion, because we're not making this like anything fancy. Just trying to get what information we need in a clear and concise way. So visual borders on all of these here, I think will look just fine. Great. Another thing I want to do is I want to kind of push this over to the side a little bit. Both of these here, because I want this one here, the average registrations over time, to be a little bit longer. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to stretch this one as well, just to match. And this kind of doesn't look like it's lined up right over here. So let's try to get that. I think that's better. Okay, great. Now I want to add a slicer, and I'm going to put it at the top, and the slicer is going to serve as the title of our whole dashboard as well, which is kind of cool. So the field for the slicer is going to be instructor, because what I want is the ability to see each visualization just selecting one instructor. So for that, what we want to do is change the format. Slicer settings from a verticalist to a tile, I think would look cool. So let's go with tile. And then let's also, let's see if we can kind of reduce this a little bit. That looks good. The slicer header, let's actually turn that off, so we don't have that. And then we'll go to general, and under general, we'll turn the title on, and then we'll call it the name of our dashboard, which will be instructor utilization. That looks good. Let's make font for this. Color for our font, or color for our text. Excuse me. And I'm just gonna have it blue. Actually, let's change it. Let's have it orange. And then the text for values, let's also change that to something different. And maybe we'll actually have it be a different color. That looks fine. Not gonna get carried away. Okay, so now if you click on one, you'll just see that person, which is really just helpful for instructors, or average registration per instructor over time. And by the way, since we're here, I don't like that title. I just want to keep it simple, and we're not going to have the per instructor in there. So let's get rid of that. Average registrations over time, that looks good, except let's be consistent with our text. That looks nice. Great. Now we have our slicer. I actually want to add another slicer. So let's put a slicer in here that's going to filter for Can we fit this in here, like right next to that? Yeah, we can. That's great. I wanna do a date slicer. So we're gonna do the class start date for that one. So let's drag that into here. And then I want it to be, let's see, slicer settings, vertical list. Let's try that. Can we do a drop down? Drop down looks better. And then we do like this. Let's check here. You know what? We don't want this to be a bunch of dates here. So what we can do is actually do date hierarchy and drag these over. So we can do like year, we can do all of them, year, quarter, month, day. Why not? So now when you do the drop down, you have this format, and I think that's a little bit better. So, and we'll just leave the title as is. And then I want to do one more slicer, I think. If I have public classes versus private classes, I do. So let's add another slicer. And I'm just gonna put it right next to this one here. Go. And it's going to be public or private. And let's change the setting for that to a tile. Since there's just two options. And let's see, single select. No. Let's leave it like that. That looks good. And then in this case, there's just two options. So let's actually shut the title off, the header off. So it'll look like that. I think that looks good. Now I think we can probably bring these up a little bit here. We're going to add in text next. Is this lined up? It's so hard to tell sometimes. It looks good. All right, text. So insert and text box. And we're going to put this text box right in here to fill up that space there. And for our text box, I have the text all already set here. So I'm not going to waste your time. We're just going to paste it in. So now that we pasted that text in, this is the text that explains the how we calculate the utilization score and the max utilization scores, how we get those numbers. And there's a lot of white space here, so we don't want to waste any space. So that's actually, let's do a couple of things here. I'm actually going to drag this up so it's flush there, and then bring this one up as well. And I want to make this taller because why not? I like those bars to be a little bit bigger. And then I think we can probably, I don't really want to drag this one up much. So let's actually drag this one down. Why not? That looks good. One more thing, I want to add a data source, information thing that will show the data source. So for that, I think I'll do a information button, and I'm going to put it right here. And then let's make it bigger. That's kind of huge. And make it a little bit smaller here. And then what we can do is drag this back over so that all of that text is showing, and then kind of put this one lined up with that. That looks great. And for this button, I want it to show some text. So I think we need to do action on, and I think it's tooltip. And what we do is we just put data source equals the Sava report, and I'm going to put the name of the report. which I have copied on my other screen here, so that once again, I don't waste time just typing in text. That should do it. The idea is that if you hover your mouse over this, you'll see that text, and you know, it turns into a clickable thing, but really it doesn't click. We just want it to be like hidden so that someone can hover over that and see that text. That's fine. I don't need to be we don't need to be constantly showing that text. This needs to go a little bit. I would prefer those like that, so maybe we can get them. Yeah, that's good. And then we'll just kind of put them a little bit over. Can kind of move this over. That's still a little bit hidden there, so if we can't reduce it too much or it goes away. So we really just have to kind of play around with it a little bit. That looks good. So it's still hidden. So let's see if we can adjust this one. And then we're just gonna adjust this one and adjust this one. Gotta adjust it a little bit more. That's okay. Totally fine. Just getting that showing again. Drag this one down. We're almost there. That looks good. Now we can bring these back up again. Getting all of this sorted is sometimes a little tough. Just getting everything lined up just right. And then I think the last thing that I'm going to change is I'm going to change this bad looking title color. I think we're just going to switch it back to blue. That's totally fine. Looks much better. Okay, now let's do one final check just to see if everything is looking good. You know, hover over these and make sure that your percentages and your numbers are as you want them to appear, and make sure that it all looks good. So I think that's gonna conclude this dashboard. One more thing, I want to make this lined up again. So let's bring that back down. Okay, I think that looks good. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. It's been fun trying to figure all of this out. My first full dashboard build, and I hope to bring you some more soon. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching, and take care. And we will see you in that next video. Bye-bye.